In the days of Amraphel, king of Shinar, I pronounce the names from the Hebrew text in your Bible translations or in your cultures. You might pronounce them a little bit differently. So Amraphel, king of Shinar, Arioch, king of Elasar, Kedorlaomer, king of Elam, and Tidal, king of Goyim. These kings, they had already earlier made war with Bera, king of Sodom, Birsha, king of Gomorrah, Shinav, king of Adma, Shem-Ever, king of Tseboim, and the king of Bela, that is Zoar. All these joined forces in the valley of Siddim, that is nowadays the Salt or the Dead Sea. 12 years they'd been slaves to Kedorlaomer. In the 13th year they rebelled. In the 14th year, Kedorlaomer had come and the kings who were with him, and they defeated the Rephaim in Ashterot Karnaim, the Zuzim in Ham, the Emim in Shavek Kiriatayim, and the Horites in the mountainous country of Seir, as far as El Paran on the border of the wilderness. And then they returned, came to Ein Mishpat, that is Kadesh, and defeated the whole field of the Amalekites, as well as the Amorites who were dwelling in Hatzatzon Tamar. And then the king of Sodom went out, the king of Gomorrah, the king of Adma, the king of Tseboim, as well as the king of Bela, that is Zoar, and they prepared for battle in the valley of Siddim. We are here in the valley of Siddim, with Kedorlaomer, king of Elam, Tidal, king of Goyim, Amraphel, king of Shinar, and Arioch, king of Elasar. 4 kings against 5. Now, the valley of Siddim was full of mud pits, and the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fell. Some fell into them, and the rest fled in the direction of the mountains. And they, the kings who had come from afar, took all the possessions of Sodom and Gomorrah and all their food and left. And they also took Lot and his possessions, the son of Abram's brother, and went their way. He actually, Lot, had been dwelling in Sodom. What we see here is a huge scenario which today we might call something like a world war. And the question is, who were these kings? Amraphel of Shinar, Arioch of Elasar, Kedorlaomer of Elam, Tidal of Goyim. To be honest, we don't know. Maybe one of them was Nimrod, who is mentioned in the Bible as the first on earth to be a mighty man. Or maybe one of them was Hammurabi, the great ruler of Babylonia, whom we know from his legal collections. We don't know. They were maybe in their time the Donald Trumps and the Vladimir Putins and the Emmanuel Macrons or Angela Merkels. All the news media was talking about them. And today, 4,000 years later, nobody knows of them. You know all who Abraham is. And I can go around the world and ask people, and they know about Abraham. But they don't know about Amraphel and Arioch and Kedorlaomer. Look, this is the point of today's message, that we always have 2 points of views. There is what CNN or the New York Times report about the kings, the rulers, the mighty men of this world, and there is on what God focuses. And very often, God focuses on the small people, on the insignificant. And if we later in this text see that Abram collects 300 people and goes out and chases after these armies, you know, in a way it would be like a church or a home group chasing the American army or going up against the Russian army. You would laugh. What is this significant? They're nothings. This is exactly what I think happens until today, that God takes somebody and makes history And we'll see in a few thousand years from now, maybe nobody knows who Donald Trump is. Maybe nobody knows who Vladimir Putin is, but they might know you because God made history with you. So let's focus on what God is doing. And by the way, maybe this is one of the reasons why it is archaeologically so difficult to prove the Bible, because God focused on something totally different from what is significant, mighty, great in our eyes.